Morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. What opens with Cam's daddy taking his visit and what closes with Cam's fiance not taking his call? If you guessed Survivor's Report Remorse, Season 4, Episode 10, answers and questions, you're correct. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. It's the last video for Survivor's Remorse, and sticking around to see how we get from opening to closing up this show. Is it the end? It's not the end. I rebuke that. This is the beginning of the beginning. So let's jump right in. Let us proceed and let us buck ourselves up and yeah. So Cam has visited his dad. This be the last time we see Cam visiting his dad. And he's talking about Allie and his engagement. And his dad is like, oh, she's pretty like a Disney princess. She is pretty like a Disney princess. Was she a Disney princess in real life? Is that why? Is it like an inside joke? I don't know. And his dad is kind of like, aren't you too young? Are you sure you're ready to marry? I mean, what's up? And, why are you here? And Cam is like, well, I'm conflicted in my life. I need some daddy advice. I'm conflicted between personal happiness and service, basically. And do I dwell on and let my day be fired by the small good and, being married and, happy and rich and all of that? Or by the big bad? There's a big bad world out there, and I want to fight for what's right. And his dad is like, well, my life is artificially small. And Cam is like, you've never been free to love as an adult. And his dad is like, yeah, at 17, I was tried as an adult, even though I wasn't. And I got 8 years, and I was about to get out, and I was attacked, and I defended myself. And he described how he took the spoon and took some of my eye. I don't know what this dog is doing over here. And so he ended up getting 20 years on top. I didn't know that. I didn't know why the man was in jail and what the story was, but he got 28 years. So that's kind of intense. And for defending myself. And the dad was like, I was the only one interested in the point that I was defending myself. And, Cam is like, well, that's some real bull. That's some BS. And his dad is like, yes, self-perpetuating slavery. And that's another thing I love about it. But anyway, and he's like, yeah, it's some BS, knowing that the big bad is out there. Baby boy, let me tell you, how can the small good be enough? How can you, if it was me, you asking me, I would say choose the larger life. That is so beautiful. All of us choose the larger life. Be you, be fabulous, be fully and fabulously and freely you. Choose, honor yourself, honor your heart, choose the larger life. So we see Missy and Reggie at home, and Missy is like, well, my money cleared, so get Cam's check and then we can wire Chin the money. And Reg is like, well, Cam's check is not gonna happen. And Missy is like, well, he too busy to sign a check that you wrote out for him. And Cam is like, well, he doesn't feel good about the investment and it's a no for him. And Missy is like, okay, well, more for us then. And Reg is like, well, he doesn't want us to invest in it either. And Missy is like, that is not his call. And Reg is like, well, Cam doesn't want us to do it, and we're not going to do it. And it's my fault for talking to you and getting you on board before I talked to him and got him on board. And now you're all excited, but I shouldn't have. It's my fault. I take responsibility. And Missy is like, nope. We vetted it, we researched it, we decided that it's a good deal, we like it, it's a money train, and we're getting on the money train. And I am not going back to my parents with, never mind, I'm not going to do the investment. So you offered to kiss him in so he can't F you out. I saw how he treated me at the gala when stuff went left. So, I'm not here for no Cam. Yeah, you can't say much to me about Cam at this moment. I'm not here for it. And he has no right to treat you, husband dear, like a junior partner. Cam has the luxury of making moral choices because he has $100 million deal guaranteed, but we do not. So again, this is one of those moments where we're talking about principles and, are you just do whatever you have to do morally until you're wealthy and then you do something different? Because if you practice certain things all along, I just thought it was an interesting conversation. And then at the same time, I think it's kind of like, well, these people are looters. They're stealing food from the grocery store, or, they're stealing food so that their children can eat. What kind of morality do they have? I mean, maybe the morality is to feed their children. Now, Missy and Reg don't have any children, but, they are trying to build wealth and a legacy for their family so that, when they have 1 or 2 or 3 children, they can sit down and give them a check for $500,000, or whatever, so that they have resources to pass on to the next generation and maybe the generation after that. But anyway, I just thought it was an interesting moment. I think I know where I stand, but where do you stand? How did you process it? So she said, we don't have that luxury. So he can be high and mighty if he want to, but we about to do this. And Reg is like, we can't risk alienating Cam. What if the deal goes bad? Are we going to be on the street? And Missy is like, baby, we will never, ever be on the street. It's me, it's you, and your boss. The 3 of us are a team. And I guess her boss too, because she like, we ain't punks, we ain't dumb, we ain't weak, and we ain't gonna let no other person tell our grown behinds what we can do. And that's the team. It's not team you and Cam, it's team me and you and our boldness and audacity. So, and that I can understand and I can respect. I mean, whatever decisions they're making as a unit, I think that, that's their decision to make as a unit. And I think, yeah, if you're going to do some stuff, I'm all a fan of go big, do it bold. I'm a fan of it, and I'm also a fan of, some things you do big and some things you don't do big. I don't think you have to do everything big. Like, what is there? There's a saying I used to love, like, on matters of principle, stand like a rock. On everything else, flow like the river, or whatever. Some white president said that. But I like that, because I think that there are some things that you do go bold on. And I think that there are some things that you can go subtle on. I go with my feelings. My feelings guide me. That's the God in me talking to me. That's how I go. So we see Allie at work, and her silly colleague that we met on the last episode is like, hey, welcome in, the boss wants to talk to you. And Allie is like, well, what's up? He like, I don't know. I gotta go. So he does know. Allie goes into her boss and she finds out that Mike C., who's the silly colleague, is getting promoted because her boss feels, and I guess the committee of bosses feel, that Allison's fiance has too much money for him to boss her around. And he says also, furthermore, that women like you don't have careers. You just dip your toe in the water until you find your meal ticket. And I think that you have found your meal ticket. So this is kind of like another situation. Like, I think probably in her situation, it may not be a good idea for her to work for other people, but I think that she can continue to work. Now, I think the logistics of working that out are going to be a little tricky for her, but, yeah. But I know when I worked in nonprofits, it seemed like I had the impression that there were a bunch of wealthy socialites who worked as social workers or whatever. And, that seemed to be something that they did to occupy their time. But maybe a lot of those agencies were run by wealthy socialites. I don't know. But anyway, she could, she could do, community health work, and, she could be social radiologist without borders. There's a lot of things that she can do to continue to work and to continue to advance her career and to continue to build her portfolio and to continue to stimulate herself mentally and professionally. But it is kind of a weird situation, I think, in a way. I don't know. And then we see Allison and Cam coming into Cam's place, and Allie is on fire. She fired up about the situation. She feels that it's unfair and it's BS. And the fact that he told her that, and she's like, you can't tell me this. And he's like, it's off the record. She's like, you can't just say it's off the record and then tell me that you're not promoting me because of what my fiance has or does not have. And he like, are you recording it? And she's like, no. And he's like, it's off the record then. So it's a messed up situation. So Cam is like, oh, she's all fired up and upset about not getting the promotion that she deserves. She has the seniority for. She like, I thought you liked me. I thought I was good. I'm good at the job. Have more seniority than him. I'm better than him. Why are you hiring him? And Cam is like, oh, quit the job. We don't need the money. And Allison is like, this is my profession. So this is like the third time in the last 2 episodes that we've heard this. And we know all along that she's serious about her work. And then Cam, while she's trying to have this serious conversation with her fiance about her feelings about this engagement and how it's affecting her life, Cam is getting a phone call from Issa. Issa is the reporter. I don't know if you remember. At one point, Cam had been, talking to the press, and there was one reporter that he kept ignoring. It was a woman reporter, and it basically became this thing like, you're ignoring me because I'm a woman reporter. And then when they actually dealt with it, he like, no, I'm attracted to you. I think he said he got sexually excited, so he'd be trying to like not interact with her. He can't handle it. And they ended up having a thing, and then they had a sexual thing. It was lasting, but not too short for him to get a STD, because it only takes one sexual encounter. They had more than one sexual encounter. He got an STD from the situation. So this is the reporter who's calling him, and this is also the reporter who I think is now dating the owner, or she's dating some wealthy guy. The wealthy guy was like really into her, and she's like, do you know what happens to my career if it's known that I date you? It's gonna jack me up, because then it's gonna be like I'm sleeping my way to the top and I'm not gonna be taken seriously, and I've worked hard to build my career. This is a theme, this building the career type thing. And in order for them to date, she negotiated some money he had to give her so that if something went left, she would have that to fall back on. So I think that the person that she's dating is Cam's boss. So she's calling Cam while her boyfriend partner guy is in the shower, and she like, look, she keeps she keeps calling. And so finally Cam takes the call, even though his fiance is trying to talk to him about something that's very serious and important to him. He like, oh, it'll just take a minute. It's a reporter. And Allison kind of feels a way about it, and I kind of felt a way about it, and I kind of understood in a way why he took the call, because I don't think he really understood the seriousness of the moment. He could have taken that phone and took it into another room and just let it ring or turned it off. But he's like, oh, she's a reporter, she'll keep calling, I'll take it, it'll be real quick. And she asked for his comment. The owner is taking a sponsorship, and the team will wear the company logo on their uniforms. And the company is called something Heartland, and it's a lot of things that they do. But one thing that they do is privatize prisons. They're the second largest investor in privatized prisons in the country. And Cam is like, bong, bong, bong. And while he's in that bong, bong, bong moment, Allison is basically fed up. It's been escalating. She like, I'm going to go on home. He don't even hardly notice that, because all he heard was private prisons. His dad is in the prison. That's one of the things of his foundation, dealing with private prisons. That's one of the issues. That's one of the concerns. That's one of his passion project type things. So Allison is trying to leave. She's talking. But Cam is in the private prison zone. So we see that they got a little alienation going. It kind of starts there from what we can see. But it probably started before with her not getting the promotion, and with how people reacted to that big, big ring that she had on her finger. How her colleagues or whatever. Then we see Reg and Missy. and they are transferring about to this $1 million. And Reg is like, goodbye, wealth. And Missy, my girl, is like, no, we not saying goodbye to it. We saying see you later. Go off into the world and get big and strong. You gotta have a vision, right? Okay, and so then they're like, okay, she like, you send the transfer. He's like, no, I can't do it. You send the transfer. And then they send the transfer together. And they only have $14,000 left. And it's ramen time. Ramen noodles. Because, you know, now that they only got 14,000, they like basically broke. Ramen noodles and hot dogs. Okay. So then we see Cam and Reggie plus one other guy at the game. I think that he is the union negotiator. He's the union rep for the Ballers. And Cam has his uniform top like in his hand, and they're in like a corridor kind of off the court, and Cam is like, did you get out of the chin deal? He's asking Reggie. And Reggie's like, and you know, are we clear about our argument? And Reggie's like, yeah, I didn't get out of the chin deal yet, but I will. Lies. But this ain't the right time to talk about it, is it? And then he's like, yeah, I'm clear about the argument. Then the owner walks over. He's like, hey, why aren't you dressed? Come on, let's get to this. We got this game tonight. It's Detroit. They ain't the Knicks, or they ain't the best team, but come on, get dressed. We gotta play. And Cam is like, you know, I heard about this patch deal, and I'm not gonna be a human billboard for our nation's second largest investor in private prisons. And the owner is like, ha, dress for the game. And the plus one, the union rep, maybe lawyer or whatever, is like, well, you know, I may be wrong, but according to the collective bargaining agreement, forced endorsements, blah, 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 blah. And then Cam is like, you know, private prisons unjustly jail black men like my father. Things like prisons should not have a profit motive. Like a hotel, once you build it, you got to keep it full, blah, 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 blah. And the owner is like, all of the companies are dirty in some way. How did you think that basketball worked? How do you think America works? How do you think capitalism works? And behind every great fortune lies a vast lattice work of sin. You think you are clean? You got money in the bank? See, this is talking to all of us. You got money in the bank? And we like, yeah, I got money in the bank. You pay your taxes? Yeah, I paid my taxes. You invested in a mutual fund, even $1? Yeah, I'm invested in a mutual fund. And he's like, you're dirty. You're dirty too. You just haven't figured it out yet. And that's true. Oh, it's the artwork. I'm like, what's going on? Am I being attacked? And it's true. I thought, I just, it's like if you use a cell phone, you know, the uranium or whatever, there's some not metal, but there's something in the cell phones that they mine in parts of Africa that are mined in ways that are unethical. They have child laborers, enslaved people working on them just so that we can use our tablets and our cell phones. So we're complicit. We're a part of it. And how do you divest yourself from, you know, this system? How do you because every single thing, your clothes, your glasses, your internet, your phone, your food, you know, when you start looking at any of that stuff, every single thing has some bull stuff attached to it. So it was a really good question. It was a really good point. It was a really good, you know, situation. And, you know, Cam says, which I thought Cam's response was really interesting. Cam said, you know, that's a bit cynical. Wait. He said, you know, wait, this is the owner still talking, the owner of the basketball team. You just haven't figured it out yet. Money is used to root and pillage and plunder. Whatever. Do bad stuff and pillage and plunder, because that is the American way. You're a millionaire. This is an odd time and a strange place for you to be drawing a line in the sand. And Cam is like, well, you know, sand. Well, that's a bit cynical. All you said may be true, but I'm not wearing this. I may be a billionaire, and I may be a billboard for MFers, but not these MFers. So, you know, basically his point is, I'm going to start someplace, and this is where I'm starting. This is where I'm drawing the first line. Tomorrow I may draw another line, but for today I'm going to draw this line. I'm going to do what I can. You know that story where they see the little kid, somebody comes upon a little kid, and there's like on a water, on the ocean, and there's like a bunch of animals that have washed onto the sand, to the shore, and the little kid is taking the animals, the crabs, the baby crabs or whatever, and throwing them back out into the water. And the person is looking, and they like, it's a million crabs here, little kid, you can't send them all back. And the kid is like, I can't send them all back, but the one I just threw back in, they get their life, and that one gets their life, and that one gets their life. So I might not be able to make a difference totally for everybody, but I'm gonna do what I can. Yes, Cam. LeBron James, that's his name. Was it on this video or the last video when I couldn't think of the baller? So maybe the baller will shop this deal and get us, another place for survivor's remorse, because we love survivor's remorse. Or maybe being a basketball player plus a television person was too much for him. I don't know. But I love survivor's remorse. Now, then this is another moment. And then the owner is like, okay, you win. And then Cam goes to get dressed, and the owner says to Reg, so, Chin told me that you're in on the schools deal. I guess that makes us partners. And things could get pretty interesting around here. Now, this owner guy is really interesting because he's an owner and he's wealthy, but he's also got this relationship. He's like a nice guy. And it's sort of like, I think that what this show does and what any good thing does, any good art does, is start to show us the complexities of life and of people. So nobody is all good and nobody is all evil, and we make choices, and we make the best choices that we can, and maybe we get better at making good choices, and maybe we continue to grow and develop and elevate. So if it was another show, it would be like, oh my gosh, Reggie is in a deal with the devil. But it's I think they have done a good job of kind of exploring some complexities of these situations. So, but we may never see what's gonna happen. Okay, so then we're at Cam's mansion, and M. Chuck is searching on her, going through her stuff or something. Cassie come in the room. She like, you looking for this? She got some paper in her hand, and M. Chuck is like, yeah, you read it? And Cassie is like, yep. And I'm not the only one I see. I'll be all over social media with your brother's fame, my personal private business that I didn't want shared, you sharing with people, and it's going to be all over social media. Your brother is famous. That's my most private secret. I don't want to know what happened to those boys. So thanks for telling me that they're dead. And, murder gets people investigated, and murder also gets the people who had the murderation in their family mad. They be wanting to come at the people, who pulled the trigger, and the people who ordered the trigger to be put, and who shot them and who gave the order. And M. Chuck is like, well, Uncle Julius is dead. He the one that gave the order, and I never said that they were shot. Bum, bum, bum. They didn't really dwell on it, but I was like, was Cassie, did she, what, is that her, she's trying to become Catholic, and she's trying to make peace with what happened to her and how she responded, being raped, and maybe being a part of having these boys killed. What would you do? Have you ever been raped? Would you kill somebody if they raped you, or if they raped your child or your cousin? I don't know. And M. Chuck is like, because of that paper, people are looking at me, not just as the other child or the angry one with the past that we don't talk about. And Cassie is like, don't be selfish. You endanger us all, and promise me that that's the last word that will be written or spoken about it, which again is another interesting moment, because it's M. Chuck's story too, but her story is intertwined with someone else's story. So who has the rights to that story? We don't know. Then we see Missy and Reggie, and they are begging on the roadside, looking a hot mess, horrible. And they're holding a sign, Reggie is, that says, made horrible investment decision, betrayed our meal ticket, please help. Excuse me. And Missy is like, it was a can't miss investment. I don't know what happened. And Reggie is like, it missed though. It's a can't miss until it missed, and then it missed, and now, and then Cam pulls up and he gives him $1 or a bill. It could be $100 bill, but they living on the street. So what's $100 gonna do for you? Even if it's 100, you can't get a place. You can't. What you gonna do? And then he tells them to find shelter, and he gives them some leftover Chinese food. And then Reggie wakes up from his nightmare, and he's anxious, and he's like, okay, we're fine. His wife is sleeping. He look at her ring. He like, okay, we still got stuff we can sell. We can sell the ring. We can sell the 401k. We can sell. So he anxious. This is a big investment they made. It was a big, bold decision that they made. And he's feeling a little bit of anxiety. And then we see Cam. He's calling Allison. And Allison picks up her phone, and she sees that Cam is calling her. And she puts her phone down. She does not take the call. And that's it. That's all I've got for you. Thank you so much for being with me, for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. We're working on 200 subscribers. Thank you for being you, for being fabulous. Enjoying today, because today is the best day ever, and you are number one. You are the greatest. So be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous, you. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous, you. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous, you. Bye.